Well, our next guest's face may look familiar to you. Major Rich Lockhart worked for years as a public information officer for the Kansas City Police Department, doing interviews with members of the media. And these days, he's still an officer who's moved his way up the ranks, but people are now calling you an artist. So welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, so how did you get started taking pictures?
Well, I took a photography class, probably 10, 12 years ago, and started learning more about it and just started going out and doing it. It was just a way to reduce stress.
Now, how long ago was this? When did you get the bug?
I've always taken pictures, but 2004 is when I took the class and got really serious about it.
Now, does being a police officer, does that influence your photography?
Well, it takes me to parts of the city that a lot of people won't go, like the West Bottoms, for example. You go down there's a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of neat architecture, and just a lot of real urban-y feel stuff.
Now, how do you choose what you take pictures of? Do you have an eye, or do you think, ooh, that would be really good, or how do you do that?
Well, I do. I see something and it draws my attention, and then I'll spend a lot of time. I'll spend about 2 hours at a time just shooting maybe a bridge or something like that in Kansas City. And you move around a lot, you change perspectives, and that way you can really get a great picture.
Now, do you have a favorite photo, and if so, why?
I do. This one right here, it's a St. Mary's sunrise is what I call it.
Oh, nice.
It's the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and it was the third day we were there, and I went out all 3 mornings at 4:55 in the morning, and the third morning I was able to get this picture, and so it has a lot of special meaning to me, and really has just kind of captured that morning.
Now, whether you knew it or not, you brought my favorite picture, which is the one right behind it. So
right.
I love that one. Yes, tell me a little bit about that one.
That's an abandoned chicken coop that is up by Staley High School, where my son goes to school. And what I did there is I had it's about a 5-minute exposure. And what you do is you put a colored gel over a light. I had a red gel and a green gel, and then I also lit the inside of it with just a regular light. And voila, 5 minutes later, that's what you get.
Now, what has the reaction been to your photographs? I went to your very first art exhibit, and it was awesome.
Yes. Yeah, you were down in Crossroads for First Fridays, came by. We had a lot of people come out that night. It's fun. It's mostly friends. Last year I was in the Westport Art Fair and sold about 18 pieces, so I was really excited about that. I don't do it for that. I do it just to have fun and enjoy it.
I think I was there for your first big boy sale, and we all applauded. That was awesome.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about the editing process. How much post-editing goes into some of these?
Just a little bit, because you've got to get in there and you've got to take out what they call little artifacts, just little weird dots that show up because it's digital.
Yes.
But other than that, there's not much. Some of these are multiple exposures. The two on your right there are multiple exposures, where you're taking 3 exposures and you're sandwiching them all together, and that way you can get an image that kind of shows up all the detail.
Now, what is your interest in the Westport Art Fair? Because I know that you're going to be appearing there this coming up.
Yeah, the Westport Art Fair is a great art show. It's all local artists, so you've got a real good chance of getting in. And then they also have an emerging artist category for artists that haven't had a lot of show experience, and that's how I got in. And so it gives me an opportunity to showcase my stuff, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, have you done the Westport Art Fair before? Because I think I've seen you down there. Is this your second year?
This is my second year.
Second year.
Yeah, last year was my first year, so I'm not quite as nervous this year as I was last year, so it'll be a little more fun.
Did you get all the butterflies out last year?
I got all the butterflies out last year. After my first sale, I was good.
Now, is it weird getting recognized as a major, as a police officer, and also as, a photographer?
Well, I haven't really. That's just starting with the photographer stuff, but the police major stuff, yeah, you see people, and you may not know them, but they know you, and it does seem kind of weird sometimes.
Well, listen, the 34th Westport Art Annual begins Friday night at 5 o'clock. You can also enjoy this free event featuring all local artists. Yes, all local artists, Saturday from 10 until 9, and Sunday from 11 until 5. Major, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's throw things over to Miss Nikki in the kitchen.
Oh my